There's a conversation happening inside your body right now, but you've forgotten how to listen. Your anxiety isn't just anxiety, it's trying to tell you something. Your depression isn't just depression. It's carrying a message. That chronic pain in your back isn't just physical discomfort. It's speaking a language you've forgotten how to understand. We've become so sophisticated at diagnosing, labeling, and medicating our pain that we've lost the ancient wisdom of listening to it. And in our rush to silence these messages, we're missing the very guidance we've been desperately seeking. Pain knocked at my door last night. Not the kind that makes you reach for medicine, but the type that wraps around your soul and whispers truths you've been avoiding. Have you ever noticed how life's deepest teachings often arrive dressed in darkness? We spend so much time running from pain, don't we? We build entire lives around avoiding discomfort, crafting elaborate escape routes from anything that might hurt. And yet, here's the irony that changed my understanding forever. Pain isn't the enemy. Pain is the messenger. Think about the most significant growth moments in your life. When did they happen? Was it during times of comfort, when everything was flowing smoothly? Or did they emerge from the depths of your struggles, from those moments when you thought you couldn't take another step? You see, we've been sold a beautiful lie. The lie that life should be comfortable, that happiness means the absence of pain, that if we're doing things right, we shouldn't hurt. But what if I told you that this very belief is causing us more suffering than the pain? When a butterfly emerges from its cocoon, it must struggle. That struggle is essential. If someone with the kindest intentions were to cut open the cocoon to help the butterfly, they would actually condemn it to death. The butterfly needs that resistance. The struggle strengthens its wings, preparing it for flight. We are no different. Our struggles, our pain, are moments of intense discomfort. They're not punishments. They're not signs that we've gone wrong. They're opportunities for transformation waiting to be recognized. Let me share something with you. In the depths of the ocean, there's a fascinating phenomenon. When whales communicate, their songs travel for miles through the darkest waters. But here's the incredible part. They don't sing despite the pressure of the deep. They sing because of it. The pressure of the ocean actually helps carry their songs further than they could ever travel in shallow waters. Your pain has a similar purpose. It's not just random suffering. It's trying to tell you something. It's trying to carry a message that couldn't reach you any other way. But we've become so good at drowning out these messages. We numb ourselves with endless distractions, social media, busy schedules, mindless entertainment, whatever helps us avoid facing what hurts. Every time you scroll past your feelings, every time you push down that discomfort with another glass of wine or another hour of mindless television, you're not just avoiding pain, you're avoiding growth. You're refusing the invitation to become more of who you're meant to be. Think about a time when you were deeply hurt by someone you trusted. Remember that burning sensation in your chest? The way your stomach tightened, how your mind couldn't stop replaying the scene. That pain wasn't just about what happened. It was teaching you something about yourself, about your boundaries, your values, what you're willing to accept and what you're not. But how many of us actually stop to listen? How many of us dare to sit with our pain long enough to hear its wisdom? Your body speaks to you through pain. Your heart communicates through hurt. Your soul reaches out through suffering. These aren't random cruelties of an unfair universe. They're the language of transformation. But when you touch a hot stove, pain tells you to pull your hand away. That's obvious, right? But emotional pain works the same way. It's trying to tell you something. Maybe it's telling you to step away from toxic relationships. Maybe it's urging you to stop betraying yourself by saying yes, and when you mean no, maybe it's showing you where you need to grow, heal, or change. What if every painful experience in your life was actually a teacher in disguise? What if that betrayal wasn't just about someone else's actions, but about teaching you to trust your intuition? What if that failure wasn't about your inadequacy, but about showing you where your true path lies? The problem isn't that we experience pain. The problem is that we've never learned how to listen to it. We've never been taught that pain isn't just something to endure or escape. It's something to understand. Right now in this room, every single one of you is carrying some form of pain. Some of you are wearing it like armor, some are hiding it behind smiles, and others are running from it as fast as they can. But what if, just for this moment, we all stopped running what hurts right now in your life? Don't push it away. Don't try to fix it. Just listen to it. What is it trying to tell you? What would change in your life if you started seeing your pain not as your enemy, but as your teacher? You might be thinking, but I've been hurt too deeply. My pain isn't teaching me anything. It's just breaking me. I hear you. Some pain feels too big, too overwhelming to face. The depth of your pain often matches the depth of the lesson waiting for you on the other side. Think of the earth. The deepest valleys were created by the most powerful forces. Those same forces that carved out canyons also created mountains. Your pain has the same potential. It can either carve you hollow or build you into something magnificent. The difference lies not in the pain itself, but in how you choose to work with it. When you start seeing pain as a teacher rather than a tormentor, everything shifts. That difficult conversation you've been avoiding, it becomes an opportunity to practice courage. That heartbreak that still aches, it's teaching you about the depth of your capacity to love. That failure that keeps you up at night, it's showing you where your passion truly lies. But let me be clear, this isn't about glorifying suffering. This isn't about wearing your pain like a badge of honor or using it as an excuse to stay stuck. This is about learning to listen to the wisdom hidden within your pain so you can move through it with purpose rather than just endure it blindly. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to grow through their difficulties while others become bitter? Same pain, different outcome. The difference isn't in the intensity of the pain. It's in how they relate to it. The ones who grow are the ones who dare to ask, what is this teaching me? How can this make me stronger, wiser, more compassionate? There's a profound truth that changed everything for me when I finally understood it. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Now, before you dismiss this as another empty platitude, let me explain what this really means. Every human being will experience pain. That's not negotiable. It's part of the contract we signed when we showed up for this life. But suffering is what happens when we resist pain, when we fight against it, when we tell ourselves stories about how unfair it is or how it shouldn't be happening to us. Think about physical pain for a moment. When you have a headache, it hurts. That's pain. But what do? We tense up. We get angry about having the headache. We stress about how it's going to affect our day. We worry about whether it means something more serious. All of that, that's suffering. That's us adding layers of resistance and fear on top of the original pain. Our emotional pain works exactly the same way. Something happens, a rejection, a loss, a failure. That's pain. But then we start adding our layers. This always happens to me. I'll never be good enough. Life is against me. I should have known better. Layer upon layer of suffering piled on top of the original pain. But what if we could learn to experience pain cleanly? What if we could feel it without adding all of those extra layers of meaning and resistance? What if we could look our pain in the eye and say, I see you, I feel you, and I'm willing to learn from you? Have you ever watched a child fall while learning to walk? They tumble down, maybe cry for a moment, then get right back up and try again. They don't lie there thinking, well, clearly I'm not cut out for this walking thing. They don't beat themselves up about their failure. They don't worry about looking foolish. They just feel the pain, let it pass, and keep going. Somewhere along the way, we lost that wisdom. We started believing that pain was a sign of something going wrong, rather than something showing us where we need to grow. What are you currently resisting in your life? What pain are you running from? What hurt are you refusing to look at? Because here's the truth. The energy it takes to resist pain is far greater than the energy it takes to face it. Think of pain like water. When you fight against a current, you exhaust yourself. But when you learn to flow with it, it can carry you to places you never imagined possible. Your pain wants to carry you somewhere. The question is, are you willing to trust the journey? Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking about that devastating loss, that brutal betrayal, that soul-crushing failure. You're thinking, but you don't understand how bad it was. And you're right, your pain is uniquely yours. But what I do understand is this: the depth of your pain is directly proportional to your capacity for growth. Consider the mighty sequoia trees. Do you know what makes them grow so tall? It's not just gentle spring rains and sunny days, it's forest fires. These magnificent trees actually need the intense heat of forest fires to release their seeds. The very thing that seems most destructive becomes essential for their growth. Your pain can serve the same purpose. Those moments that feel like they're destroying you, they're actually creating the conditions for new growth. But only if you're willing to stay present with them, only if you're willing to look for the lesson. This brings us to another crucial truth. Pain demands to be felt. You can run from it, numb it, deny it, but it will wait patiently for you to acknowledge it. And the longer you wait, the louder it will become. Have you noticed how a small emotional wound left unattended can grow into a massive burden? That slight from a colleague that you push down becomes a festering resentment. That small betrayal you never addressed grows into an inability to trust. That grief you never processed shows up as chronic anxiety. Your pain is asking for your attention, not your judgment, not your resistance, not your solutions, just your attention. When was the last time you sat quietly with your pain and simply asked it, what are you trying to teach me? This isn't about wallowing in your hurt. This isn't about becoming a victim of your circumstances. This is about developing a new relationship with the inevitable challenges of being human. This is about learning to see your pain as a catalyst for growth rather than a punishment to endure. Think about the most painful experience you've ever had. Now, looking back, can you see how it shaped you? Can you recognize the strength it built in you, the wisdom it taught you, the compassion it developed in you? This doesn't mean the pain was good or that you should be grateful for having been hurt. It means that you found a way to transform that pain into growth. That's what pain offers us, the opportunity for transformation. But transformation isn't comfortable. It never has been. Ask any caterpillar turning into a butterfly. Ask any seed breaking open to become a flower. Ask any metal being forged into a sword. The process of becoming more than we are requires us to move through discomfort. There's something that might surprise you. The pain you're experiencing right now is not trying to break you, it's trying to break you open. There's a profound difference. Breaking you would be destruction. Breaking you open is transformation. Think of an egg. If it breaks from the outside, life ends. But if it breaks from the inside, life begins. The same is true for us. When pain breaks us open from the inside, it's not destroying us. It's creating space for something new to emerge. But we live in a world that's terrified of pain. We've created entire industries dedicated to avoiding it. We medicate it, distract from it, deny it, and run from it. And in doing so, we've lost touch with one of life's most powerful teachers. Let me share something that might change how you view your struggles. Your capacity to experience pain is directly connected to your capacity for joy. They're not opposites. They're two sides of the same coin. The deeper you can feel one, the deeper you can feel the other. Have you ever noticed how people who've never really suffered often struggle to experience deep joy? How those who've never faced real loss sometimes have trouble appreciating what they have. This isn't coincidence. Our wounds, when we learn from them, become doorways to deeper living. But here's the catch. This only works if we're willing to stay present with our pain. Not to indulge it, not to wallow in it, but to listen to it, to let it teach us what we need to learn. Right now, someone in this room is going through a divorce. Someone else is facing a serious health challenge. Someone just lost a job they loved. Someone is questioning everything they believed about themselves. These are all forms of pain. But they're also invitations. Invitations to grow beyond who you currently are. Think about times in your life when you faced something that seemed impossible to handle. Remember how certain you were that you wouldn't survive it? But here you are, not just surviving, but carrying wisdom that only that experience could have taught you. That wisdom didn't come from the pain itself. It came from your willingness to stay present with it, to learn from it, to let it transform you. The pain was the teacher, but you were the one who chose to become the student. Here's a truth that might be hard to hear. Your pain isn't special. Not because it isn't significant, but because pain is a universal human experience. What makes your journey unique isn't your pain, it's what you choose to do with it. Some of the most compassionate people you'll ever meet have been through tremendous pain, but it's not the pain that made them compassionate. It's what they learned from it. Some of the wisest, most insightful people have faced devastating losses. But it's not the losses that made them wise. It's how they chose to grow through them. What if the pain you're experiencing right now is actually preparing you for something important? What if it's building strength you'll need later? What if it's developing wisdom that someone else will desperately need? We often can't see the purpose of our pain while we're in it. That's like trying to see the pattern of a mosaic while pressing your face against one tile. It's only when we step back that we can see how each piece, including the dark ones, contributes to the larger picture. But here's where many people get stuck. They wait to feel ready before facing their pain. They wait for the perfect moment, the right circumstances, enough strength. But readiness is a myth. You don't face pain because you're ready. You face it because it's time. Think about every major growth experience in your life. Did you feel ready for it? Or did you grow because you had no choice but to face what was in front of you? The truth is, pain often comes not to punish us, but to wake us up, to shake us out of our comfortable patterns, to force us to make changes we've been avoiding, to show us strengths we didn't know we had. So every time you successfully move through pain, you're not just healing yourself, you're helping heal the world. Because every person who learns to transform their pain into wisdom creates a path for others to follow. That anxiety you're learning to manage, someone else needs to know it's possible. That grief you're learning to live with, someone else needs to see how it's done. That betrayal you're learning to forgive, someone else needs to witness that healing is possible. This brings us to a crucial point. There's a difference between pain that's teaching you and pain that's stuck on repeat. Some people wear their pain like a badge of honor, letting it become their identity. They tell their painful stories over and over, not to learn from them, but to remain trapped in them. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about pain as a passage, not a destination. We're talking about pain as a teacher, not a tormentor. We're talking about learning to listen to your pain long enough to hear its lesson, then letting it go. There's a moment that comes in every painful experience, a crossroads where you must choose. You can either become bitter or better. You can let the pain shut you down or break you open. You can use it as an excuse to stop growing or as fuel to grow beyond what you thought possible. This choice doesn't happen just once. It happens every day, sometimes every hour. Each time the pain rises up, each time the memory haunts you, each time the fear grips you, you have this choice again. And here's the beautiful things. You can make a different choice this time than you did last time. Some of you have been carrying pain for so long that it feels like a part of your identity. You've forgotten who you were before it. You've forgotten that the pain was supposed to be a teacher, not a permanent resident in your life. But right now, in this moment, you can choose differently. Let me tell you something about pain that changed everything for me. Pain is not a punishment for what you did wrong. It's preparation for what you're meant to do next. Every difficult experience you've had has been preparing you for something important. That relationship that ended so painfully, it was teaching you about self-worth. That career setback that humbled you, it was teaching you about resilience. That loss that brought you to your knees, it was teaching you about what truly matters. These lessons don't automatically translate into wisdom. You have to actively engage with your pain. You have to be willing to ask the hard questions. What is this teaching me? What do I need to learn here? What part of me needs to grow through this? Think about the strongest people you know. The ones with real wisdom, real compassion, real depth. Did they get that way from an easy life? Or did they get that way because they learned how to transform their pain into strength? Right now, someone in this room is thinking, but my pain is different. My situation is worse. And maybe it is. Pain isn't a competition, but here's what I know. The size of your pain doesn't determine your future, your response to it. Every great story of transformation involves pain. Every hero's journey includes struggles. Every meaningful achievement comes through challenges. This isn't because the universe is cruel. It's because that's how growth works. You're in the middle of your own hero's journey right now. The pain you're experiencing, that's part of your story. But it's not the end of your story unless you decide to stop there. What would become possible in your life if you stopped running from your pain and started learning from it? What might change if you began to see your struggles not as punishments, but as opportunities for transformation. Some of you might be thinking, but I've tried to learn from my pain. I've tried to grow through it. Nothing's changed. But have you really tried, or have you just thought about trying while staying safely in your comfort zone? Real transformation requires more than just thinking about change. It requires action. It requires you to do things differently, to face what scares you, to stay present when everything in you wants to run away. Think about water for a moment. When water meets an obstacle, it doesn't stop. It finds another way. It flows around over or under whatever's in its path. Sometimes it even transforms into steam to rise above the obstacle. Your pain is asking you to do like water, to find new ways to flow, to transform when necessary, to keep moving forward no matter what. But here's something crucial to understand. Moving forward doesn't mean leaving your pain behind. It means integrating it into who you're becoming. The goal isn't to get rid of the pain, it's to let it transform you into something more than you were before. Every scar you have, be it physical or emotional, tells a story. But you get to decide what that story means. Is it a story of victory or victimhood? Is it a story of growth or stagnation? Is it a story of blame or responsibility? The truth is, your pain has already changed you. The question is, has it changed you in the way you want to be changed? Has it made you more compassionate or more bitter, more resilient or more fearful, more open to life or more closed off from it? There's another truth that might be hard to hear. Sometimes the pain isn't the problem. I stump by it. Our resistance to it is we spend so much energy fighting against what hurts that we miss the lesson it's trying to teach us. Think about the last time you were in emotional pain. How much of your suffering came from the actual situation, and how much came from your thoughts about the situation? How much came from fighting against what was already happening? What if you could learn to hold your pain differently? Not as something to escape from, but as something to grow through. Not as your enemy, but as your teacher. Not as something happening to you, but as something happening for you. This doesn't mean pretending the pain isn't real. It doesn't mean plastering a fake smile over your hurt. It means developing a new relationship with pain, one based on learning rather than resistance, growth rather than fear. Right now, take a moment to think about the pain you're carrying. Don't try to change it. Don't try to fix it. Just acknowledge its presence. What is it trying to tell you? What would it say if you really listened? Maybe it's telling you it's time to set better boundaries. Maybe it's showing you where you need to be more honest with yourself. Maybe it's pointing you toward changes you've been afraid to make. Your pain always has a message, but you have to be willing to listen. There's something powerful that happens when you stop seeing pain as your opponent and start seeing it as your guide. The energy you were using to fight against it becomes available for growth. The strength you were using to resist it becomes fuel for transformation. Think about how much energy you spend trying to avoid pain. Imagine if you could redirect that energy toward growth instead. Imagine if every painful experience became an opportunity for expansion rather than a reason to contract. This is what I mean when I say pain can be your greatest teacher. Not because the pain itself is good, but because it can lead you to goodness you wouldn't have found any other way. It can push you toward growth you wouldn't have chosen voluntarily. It can connect you with parts of yourself you didn't know existed. Some of you might be wondering, but how? How do I actually do this? It starts with a simple but profound shift. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this teaching me? Instead of trying to get rid of the pain, get curious about it. Instead of seeing it as your enemy, see it as a messenger. Instead of fighting against it, learn from it. Every piece of pain you're carrying is connected to something you care about. We only hurt where we care. Your pain over that ended relationship, it shows your capacity for love. Your grief over that loss, it shows what mattered to you. Your fear of failure, it shows your desire to make a difference. Your pain is not separate from your power. It's part of it. Every wound you carry has the potential to become a source of wisdom. Every hurt you've experienced can become a way to understand others better. Every struggle you face can become strength you share. As we come to the close of our time together, I want to leave you with this. And you are not your pain. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become because of what happened to you. The pain you're experiencing right now is real. It matters. It's significant. But it's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter where you learn to transform your pain into purpose, your struggles into strength, your wounds into wisdom. Pain will visit everyone. That's not a choice. But what you do with that pain, that's your choice. And that choice can change everything. Every time you choose to learn from your pain rather than run from it, you're not just changing your own life. You're changing the world. Because every person who learns to transform pain into wisdom creates a path for others to follow. What is your pain trying to teach you? And more importantly, are you ready to listen? The choice is yours. The time is now. And the transformation you seek is waiting on the other side of your willingness to learn from what hurts. Thank you for your courage in exploring these depths with me today. May you find the wisdom hidden in your wounds, the strength buried in your struggles, and the light that always exists on the other side of darkness. Let this be the moment when you begin to see your pain differently. Not as something to endure, but as something to understand. Not as your burden, but as your breakthrough. Not as your enemy, but as your teacher. The lessons are waiting. The wisdom is ready. The only question is, are you